Welcome to the Apple Buyer's Guide for 2025, sponsored by Coupland's Meal Deal. Get it down your gullet, you greasy pig. In this Apple Buyer's Guide, we're going to keep it nice and simple. There's so many Apple Buyer's Guides on YouTube, and they're all these tech nerds who have as much testosterone as one of those BuzzFeed Try guys. And they bang on and on about all this crap that you don't really need to hear as an ordinary, simple as North FC consumer. So in this Apple Buyer's Guide, we're going to teach all of you retards out there who don't know anything about technology or Apple or any of that sort. We're going to teach you how to get good deals on Apple products, simple as. The first step to getting good deals on Apple products is to learn what Apple products are for you and what Apple products are not for you and what Apple products are retarded. So here I have split all the Apple products currently on sale into 6 easy to understand categories. Starting in the top left, we have the normal zone. This is where normal people should be. You've got your iPhone Classic. You get an iPhone 16 or an SE4. You don't need the iPhone Pros. You don't need the 16 Pro or the 16 Pro Max. If you're getting the Pro iPhones, really just fucking stop. You're not using the 3 cameras on the back side of it, are you? Do you even know what those 3 cameras do? All the people I see with iPhone Pro Maxes and Pros with the 3 cameras on it, they have no fucking clue what those other 2 cameras do. I need 3 cameras. Look at the mole on my face. And to post Instagram selfies of my asshole. No, you fucking don't. Right? People don't understand that the 2 cameras on the base model iPhones are perfectly capable. They are what anyone who isn't a complete camera penis head would normally need for a camera. If you're a mother and you just want to shoot pictures of like your children and shit, base model iPhone, you don't need the 3 cameras on the back side of it. Basically, if you don't know what a telephoto lens is, stop buying the Pros. If you don't know what a telephoto lens is, if you don't know what, wide angles and 5x, 10x, if you don't know what any of that means, stop buying the Pros, get the base model. In 2025, Apple should be releasing the iPhone SE4, and this one is going to be a really good deal for basic bitches out there who just want to watch YouTube and tell everyone on Facebook how sad their life is. Next up in the normal zone is the iPad 10th generation. Now, the iPad can be a bit of a minefield to buy from if you're not familiar with the different iPad categories. So we're going to break it down nice and simply here. The base model iPad is called the iPad 10th generation, and this is the iPad you should get if you need something that will be a father you could never be to your children. Next up down from the normal zone, we have got the literate zone. Now, people in the north of England need to pay attention to this. You cannot access this literate zone here unless you are able to read. So, if you can't read, you probably won't even know what zone I'm talking about, but for those of you in the audience who can read, the literate zone is just the M1 MacBook Air from 2020. And the M1 MacBook Air is what anyone who just needs a basic ass laptop should go for. Forget the MacBook Pro and the M2, 3 and 4 MacBook Airs. You don't need that in 2025. Just the M1 MacBook Air 2020 model. And if you go to Currys and you try and buy the M1 MacBook Air, as I did, they will try and offer you Apple Care, they will try and offer you antivirus, and they will try and offer you Office 365 to go with it all. You tell them in the nicest possible way to fuck off, because you don't need any of that. Apple Care is for retards. Antivirus is for boomers who don't understand that you don't need antivirus anymore. And Office 365 is for retards who didn't know what it was and just said yes at checkout. Also, when you've had your MacBook Air for more than a year, your warranty will probably start to expire. When they try and offer you extra warranty to pay extra for, tell them to fuck off. So up next, in the top middle, we have the bitch zone. The bitch zone is as it describes. It's for bitches who just buy shit that they don't need. And the top of the bitch zone is the Apple Watch. When the Apple Watch was launched 10 years ago, back in 2014, It was literally marketed as a fashion accessory, and 10 years later, it is still a fashion accessory. Nobody, literally nobody on planet Earth needs an Apple Watch. People only get an Apple Watch for the same reason people would get watches before, because they have a weird obsession with fashion. And so, for that reason, because it is a completely pointless device that serves no practical purpose whatsoever, it ends up in the bitch category. Next up down in the bitch category is the iPad Air. Now, the iPad Air is bought exclusively by people who don't understand that there is a base model iPad. People buy the iPad Air thinking it's the cheaper iPad and I'll go with that one. And yet, below the iPad Air, you have got the iPad 10th generation, the base model iPad. And the base model iPad is perfectly fine. You know, people will think, oh, the base model iPad, it must be a cheap piece of crap. It isn't. It's fine. It will do everything an iPad can do. Everything you would expect an iPad to do, the base model iPad will do. The Air really has no reason to exist. It's got a slightly better display, I think, and slightly better internals. Who gives a rat's ass? It's a fucking iPad. And speaking of who gives a rat's ass, next up down, we have got the dickhead zone. Now, the dickhead zone is self-explanatory. People who are in this category are dickheads. And the dickhead technology includes the MacBook Pro, the iMac, the Mac Mini, and the Mac Studio. Because you do not need a desktop Mac. You can just go outside with an M1 MacBook Air. Stop being a basement dweller, get a MacBook Air, and actually go outside and see people for once. And when it comes to the MacBook Pros and the Mac Studio, no, you don't need these crazy high specs. You don't need an M1 Pro chip. You don't need an M1 Max chip. You don't need an M1 Ultra chip or any of this bullshit. You're not MKBHD. You're not doing anything crazy. You're watching a North FC investing video. So you clearly do not need any of those products. So moving on, in the top right, we have got the CEX trade-in zone. And I call this the CEX trade-in zone because items in this category are typically what people buy, realise they don't need, realise they've wasted a fuck ton of money, and then trade in at CEX immediately to try and recoup some of their loss. And at the top of that list is the iPad Pro. The iPad Pro is needed by literally no one, but for some reason it is bought by literally everyone. It's one of Apple's sweet little marketing tricks that they've pulled where they go, oh, look at this amazing iPad. The internals of the iPad, right? The internals of the iPad Pro, for people who don't understand, the 2024 iPad Pro has got an M4 chip in it. Now that is probably twice as powerful as the M1 MacBook Air in a fucking iPad. You know, this is a common complaint online, is people going, oh, the iPad Pro, it's throttled by its software. You can't use it well because it's running iPad OS. Yeah, because it's an iPad. The iPad Pro as a category shouldn't exist. Or if it does exist, it should be very scarcely marketed to, let's say, extreme artist professionals in artist studios or something. It should not be on the shelves of Currys or CEX or anywhere like that. It's only in these places because Apple know that people who don't know anything about iPads just tend to go for the Pro because people are stupid. And going along with that, when it comes to the Apple Pencil, pretty much no one needs an Apple Pencil unless you are actually doing drawing, unless you're drawing porn or, you know, you're doing art at school or something. You don't need an Apple Pencil. You don't need pro artist equipment to write down some fucking notes. Use Apple Notes like a normal person. I don't get this, right? Because people can text at a million miles an hour. You know, you watch someone on iMessage, you know, talking to their bitches on the group chat. They will be tapping away on that keyboard at a million miles an hour. So why the fuck do you need a special little pencil to jot down some notes? Stop being a spastic. Use your keyboard. It's built into your device. Use it. Stop spending 80 fucking quid on an Apple Pencil. Even more sometimes. It's really bad. And moving on from what's really bad, we get into the I don't know what I'm fucking doing with my life zone. Items in this category are exclusively for retards who should probably consider killing themselves. Top of the list of that is the Mac Pro. Most normal people won't have heard of the Mac Pro, and they should not even look at it. They should not get it confused with any of Apple's other Pro products, because this thing is in its own little category. If you don't know what PCIe expansion cards are, and you've got a Mac Pro, got one of these Apple Towers here, then you should send me all of your money, because you don't deserve that money, and I will spend it a lot better than you have. So you should send me all of your money right now. And finally, in that sad category there, we've got the Apple Vision Pro. $3,000 to escape reality. What can I fucking say? You know, if you're going to spend $3,000 to escape reality, you're an absolute fucking loser. And if you just watch videos of people who've reviewed the Apple Vision Pro after like 6 months, there's fuck all on there. All that's on there is some fucking dinosaur that walks up to you and then pisses off. There's nothing on there. It's a waste of money. Stop being fucking retarded. It's simple, no nonsense, Apple buyer's guide. Keep it simple. So at this point you might be asking, well, why don't I choose an Android phone? Or if I'm looking for a laptop, why don't I choose a Windows laptop? Simple answer, because they'll end up in the bin, because they're all trash. And finally, where am I going to buy these devices that I want to have? And so I've split this into 2 categories. We've got North approved retailers and fuck off. On North approved retailers, we have got CEX, Classic. Walk into CEX, yeah, it'll be secondhand, previously owned by Mohammed, who threw his gauze onto it all, and it's now covered in spit. But whatever, just wipe it down, you'll be fine, ready to go. And it's at nice, relatively cheap prices. Not that cheaper than, you know, if you bought it brand new, but slight discount, whatever. Curry's, Classic, you know, walk into Curry's, grab something brand new, simple as, move on with your life. Same goes for Argos. 3Mobile is a good network to be with. Seems to be one of the only decent networks to be with in the UK at the moment. And of course, Amazon, decent retailer if they don't, you know, break your parcel when they're trying to deliver it to you. And on the fuck off side of retailers, we've got eBay. Never buy anything from eBay, just in general. The Apple Store, don't buy it from the Apple Store. It's a waste of money. Do not get anything with O2. Every single fucking person I know who says their phone is on O2, they can't get a signal anywhere. Don't be stupid. Don't get the no signal phone. And finally, once again, don't be stupid. Don't go on Facebook Marketplace. The people trying to sell you an iPhone on Facebook Marketplace look like that. Do not go on there.